What is up, everybody? To Reverse here. Today, we have to talk about this 10-year deal that was offered for Sony and PlayStation towards Call of Duty being on the platform for 10 more years until I guess Microsoft can make the game exclusive only to Xbox and PC. So it's like each and every week there's like some new revelation about this whole Activision Blizzard deal going down, and now we get more backstory about what's going on between Sony and Microsoft between this Call of Duty situation. And so, according to Benji Sales, the New York Times, Microsoft offered Sony a 10-year deal for Call of Duty on PlayStation. The first call Sadia and I made after the deal was announced was to the CEO of Sony, which would be Jim Ryan, to say, hey, we're going to keep Call of Duty on your platform, said Phil Spencer. Okay, so Sadia and Phil Spencer made Jim Ryan a deal. And Jim Ryan apparently rejected the deal. Because this next post says, Sony seems to have rejected Xbox offer to keep Call of Duty on their PlayStation for 10 years. Jim Ryan says it's highly likely that the choices gamers have today will disappear if this Activision deal goes ahead. Now, Jim Ryan has to be the most whiniest, annoying person in this whole situation. Like, why don't they just take the deal and just shut up already? Because I'm tired of hearing about this deal. Like, geez, you got 10 years from now to make some type of comparable shooter to Call of Duty. Like, these people brag about these first-party games, but they obviously have no confidence in these PlayStation's first party making a comparable shooter with Call of Duty at this point. And it's pretty obvious because it's like, they're gonna keep dragging us on and on. Like, it's really gonna prevent the Activision Blizzard deal from going through at this point. It's just really annoying at this point. Like, make something to compete with Call of Duty and stop whining. It's that simple. It's like really that simple. But let's see what people have to say about this. Rejecting two remedies won't work well in Sony's favor. Yep, gamers will have more choices. Today, you can play Call of Duty on Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, but PlayStation locks down so much exclusive content that it makes it hard not to choose PlayStation. If Sony had their way, they would block Call of Duty completely on other platforms. I'm so tired. I'm kind of tired. Yeah, I understand. People are probably tired about hearing about this because, like, each week there's something new. It's like we got to keep hearing about Sony complaining about Call of Duty potentially being Xbox exclusive. It's like, get over it. It's like if Sony was in another situation, we would not be hearing the opposite from Microsoft. They would just make the game exclusive and that would be the end of the conversation right there. But because Microsoft was doing it, we gotta appease Sony so this deal can go through. And it's just so corny in my opinion. I don't care about any Call of Duty game, so I kind of get it, or just don't care at all. That quote was not a response to the offer, rather was a response to Microsoft saying Sony is misleading regulators on the importance of Call of Duty, and they are. Sony has to stop whining about this once and for all. Ironically, they keep releasing more and more exclusive and time-exclusive titles, even for games whose studios are/will be owned by Microsoft. Facepalm. Yeah, bro, I really have so many choices where I can play modern Spider-Man games. We know that's a lie. You're going to play the modern Spider-Man games on PlayStation. But Xbox guys aren't complaining and giving a no down like how Jim Ryan is about this Call of Duty situation, though. One of the biggest IPs in the world, this is definitely just a Microsoft plus Activision Blizzard King problem. I trust Jim Ryan to take absolutely the worst decision for PlayStation players. So he's saying no because he knows Xboxes will sell a lot more when Call of Duty is on Game Pass. I high-key doubt that'll happen. Now that I'm thinking about it, Game Pass is on televisions now. They don't need Xboxes. I think Sony doesn't want this deal to happen because if it goes to Game Pass, lose good amount of players, especially if they only play Call of Duty, and they'll also lose marketing rights, which probably generates a good amount of money. Okay. He means the exclusive perks that Sony uses to get players to buy a PlayStation will be over. They don't care about Call of Duty. They want all those perks because they bring in tons of money for Sony. Sony just doesn't want that deal to be finalized in that case. Microsoft shouldn't care about Sony at all and not give them anything from now on announced games if they'll be on Activision. So are they really just stalling them out? Like, are they really just trying to stall out this deal? Maybe that's what's going on right now. They just keep keep like canceling all these negotiations just to try to stall this out for as long as possible. I was like, that's so sad and pathetic at that point. Um, I honestly just want things to go back to the way they were. Who's to say what consequences could arise from the deal? It's not about favoritism. I just don't trust any trillion-dollar company, especially Microsoft. Crying Jim is back at it again. uh, Seriously, Xbox can keep it, so you just go make a SOCOM Navy SEALs FPS. They don't want to do that. They're letting you know they can't make anything close to Call of Duty at this point. Um, so happy to see Jim Ryan thinks there should be choice for gamers with Final Fantasy and Spider-Man. Probably believed in choice for Street Fighter V too. Yeah, all these games were Sony exclusives. The irony. Oh, like the choice I have to play God of Ragnarok on PC, Bloodborne, Horizon Forbidden West. Jim Ryan is the most hypocritical CEO PlayStation has ever had. Sony is doing whatever they can to make sure they will be able to force Xbox out of console game by the end of the generation, which won't happen. Um, I mean, Microsoft just lied about keeping Call of Duty forever on PlayStation consoles, and why should they, bro? Like, I don't understand this. Why should they do that? Like, I don't understand this whole Microsoft has to treat exclusives one way, but Sony can treat exclusives a whole another way. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Sony can keep Spider-Man on PlayStation. Sony can keep making these to keep the mainline Final Fantasy games on PlayStation, but if Microsoft wants to keep Call of Duty on Xbox, that's a problem. That's a problem now. Like, make that make sense. All Xbox want is having a Game Pass on PlayStation platforms, but Sony knows how much that would hurt them. In my opinion, that's what this is all about. So now they are just fighting each other for God knows how long. Jim is right. I don't even give a crap where Call of Duty goes, but limited it to one console ecosystem would be bad for gaming. Well, it would probably be on Xbox, PC, probably even bring back to Nintendo and Nintendo consoles if they can make it run on those consoles. Um, Honestly, Sony has no FPS outside of Call of Duty since the Bethesda deal. Only Destiny. They definitely need more service games as well. Crazy thing is Nintendo ain't tripping about missing Call of Duty. Neither should Sony. Big L for Xbox. How is Xbox taking an L from this? Like, what are you talking about? uh, well, that was a petty move. Stories of the last 5 to 10 years of PlayStation exclusive content for Call of Duty. Go on. Yeah. Because someone just replaced that guy already. Bro, just take the deal. I mean, 10 years is a long time. That's a whole console generation right there. I mean, like, you really tell me they can't make any game that can compete with Call of Duty at that time period with 10 years? That's a long time right there. Sony's actions are not about Call of Duty, they're about reducing competition from Xbox. If it turns out PlayStation created a business model around Call of Duty and FIFA, which is unsustainable without them, then that's on them. To be fair, Jim Ryan knows more / has more insight in this topic than anyone on Twitter, so fair point. A crybaby. Crying Jim doesn't care, he just wants everything. Jim Ryan keeps making dumb decisions. He probably should have took the deal, to be honest. It's like, good, I like it. Sony refusing to cater to tech giants and stand up for the industry and consumers. Yes, Sony is standing up for consumers. Okay, that's why they raise the prices of everything, the video games and the consoles. They're definitely standing up for consumers' rights right there. Why should gamers have an expiry date when they won't be able to play their favorite games or their... Oh, God, what is this nonsense? Bruh, should I try to find that picture with the Spider-Man games from the previous Xbox consoles? People were enjoying those games. Now they want to play the new Spider-Man game. They have to buy a PlayStation. Like, really? They really gonna go with this little sob story BS right here, where the gamers can't play on their preferred consoles? Like, okay. Uh, Phil and Microsoft were promised anything to get this deal done. Would you believe him? He could say in 3 years different plans if Sony won't let a Game Pass on PlayStation consoles. Ryan isn't stupid. Um, Sony needs to destroy Xbox thoroughly. That won't happen, but okay. Um, I like to be in the room where Microsoft tells regulators that Jim rejected an unprecedented offer. Even the regulators probably wouldn't ask for over 10 years. Sony is just being ignorant at this point. Well, F Sony then. Getting those games on Game Pass would be a massive W, especially when playing on PC. Which is a major deal. A lot of people probably want this deal to go through. If you're an Xbox gamer, you get these games on Game Pass day one, and you get the whole catalog of Call of Duty games on Game Pass, which is probably the major reason why Xbox gamers want this deal to go through to begin with. But Sony doesn't want that to happen because if it gives Microsoft a lot of publicity, they don't want that to happen. When Sony could just, in their own service, their own PlayStation Plus service, just make their service better. But nope, they just want to make sure Microsoft is just worse off, which is just so pathetic and petty right there. So I'm going to include it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this 10-year deal that Microsoft was offering to Sony. Appears to have been rejected by Jim Ryan. So definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like for this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace.